So we're at Tesla Battery Day, Investor Day. I'm super excited and impressed with how Tesla is able to pull this off during a pandemic of social distancing and everything of that sort. In fact, how they did it was they gave everyone a vehicle to sit in. Yeah, that's right. I'm in my own Tesla Model Y at the event. Yeah, it's my own vehicle. Yeah, it's a Model Y with tons of space, and there's no one else sitting next to me. And I can roll down my window and speak to someone as long as I keep my mask on. But what an amazing, ingenious idea. People are honking. We've got the event going on, and, Elon's about to speak, so I gotta go. But this is just ingenious. In any case, a lot of exciting things to be talked about at Battery Day and what Tesla's future and plans hold. Obviously, they've got the Semi, the Cybertruck, the Roadster, and the ATV all present. I'll show them to you now. I gotta go. The event's, getting started and battery is about to start. So, yeah, that's what's going on. All right. Just got back from Battery Day, and boy, was it cool with a lot of information. And I'm going to try my best to break it down in simple layman's terms because I'm no battery expert, but there's a lot to talk about. So let's start. Let's start with the event. The event was done in a super creative fashion that I've never seen done before. It was done like a drive-in movie theater. Every person attending the event had their own vehicle. Majority Tesla Model Ys, a few Model 3s, but everyone had their own vehicle to be inside, attend the event while still remaining socially distant and safe. In fact, they were very strict about this. In any case, Tesla being able to put on an event like this in a socially distant world, in a world where we have a pandemic, and to be safe and clean is quite commendable. So for Tesla to be able to charge all these vehicles to a state of charge that will last for everyone while at the same time setting up everyone, disinfecting the cars, that's a huge feat. So props to Tesla and the Tesla team on putting on this event in a awesome manner. Of course, we had the lineup of cars there. We had the Semi, we had the Roadster, we had the Cybertruck, we had the ATV, and while they were still roped off, we got some amazing pictures. So watch my Instagram for some really cool shots and some really nice pictures of those vehicles. So now that that's there, let's get into what was talked about at Battery Day, the most anticipated event of Tesla for 2020. Tesla essentially laid out what I want to call their third master plan, the master plan for going forward to 2022 and to 2030.
And it's not a plan.
They did talk about where they'll be in 2030, and it's quite amazing. Now, while I do not understand battery architecture and technology at all, I'm going to try to break it down in simple layman's terms. Tesla broke this down into 5 areas where they can actually make really big progress in what they're doing today. Number 1, and we have all kind of projected this, is in their cell design. Changing the actual way that the current battery cells are created today can result in some really good benefits. Now, without getting into too much of the technical details of what's changing on those cells, the key thing for you to know is that by changing the cell design, Tesla's able to accomplish 5x more energy, 16% increase in range, and all while also gaining 6x more power. So by just updating the design of their batteries, they're able to gain that. Now, this is due to they had acquired a battery company, Maxwell, in the past, and so a lot of their technologies have rolled in. They're running with dry electrodes now. I'm not going to get into that. Like I said, I am not a battery expert, but what you have to know is that they're updating their batteries. They're really pushing the boundaries to what batteries can do and what the battery output can be. The batteries will be getting bigger with these new cells. Number two, how are you going to create these batteries? Where will you create these batteries? This is now what else we were expecting, is Tesla will be bringing all of this stuff in-house. In the past, Tesla used batteries from Panasonic and I believe LG. And so when you're dependent on a third-party company for some of the components for your products, it gets challenging. I.e., a good example is Apple. Apple has brought all of their technology in-house, thus allowing them to fully control and create a device with an amazing experience because they control every aspect to every part that is on that device. So Tesla is doing the same exact thing here with now bringing battery production and manufacturing in-house. And this will be right here in Fremont is where they're piloting. Obviously, the future plans is to create a full another US battery site where they'll actually manufacture the batteries, these new batteries. Now, third and fourth are going back to how the battery actually works with the anode and the cathode and how they interact. All you really need to know here is by adjusting the battery with the super smart engineers at Tesla, they're able to increase the range. And that's what we all want, is electric vehicles with more range that puts them on more of a par with our gasoline vehicles. Now, typically batteries have cobalt in them, and so one of the things Tesla talked about at the meeting was going to a purely nickel-based cathode on the batteries. Now, what does this mean without getting super technical is that it's a lot safer and easier to mine. A lot of people have a lot of issues with. In fact, Elon said that they can bring clay out of Nevada. One of the really big things is just based out of the lithium that's available in Nevada, they would have enough to power the entire US fleet, which is insane. He even broke it down to that it's so easy to mine it that you would really just need table salt to remove out of clay. Insane. So they're really taking the time to think about where efficiencies can be made. That's the big thing here, is to move forward. You have to be efficient and think outside of the box and move away from the norm of what we're used to and push the limits and boundaries. Now, lastly is the cell vehicle integration on all this, where all this savings comes from. Now, cell vehicle integration, the best way to describe this is right now cells are boxed to fit in a space, but if they are no longer in a sub box, they can fit in a space better. You can actually integrate batteries into the chassis, so thus you're able to squeeze more batteries in and not losing out by maximizing the full space potential, which they're not able to do today. By increasing the battery space, you're obviously going to have more batteries, thus more range, and these batteries are going to be integrated into the structure of the car where they're not today. It's a separate pack that's placed into the car in a space. So that's pretty smart and ingenious how they use it. In fact, they made some really good examples of how this has been done in the past with planes. So with all of these things that they're working on, there are three main areas that are going to see drastic improvements. Number one is range increase. By looking at these topics that I just spoke about, you're looking at about 54% range increase, which is insane. If you just look at a Model 3 today, which has about 300 miles, it would mean that that vehicle could potentially have a 450-mile range with this plan. Second is the price per kilowatt hour. This would see about a 56% decrease, which is always the number that electric vehicle companies are chasing. The cheaper you can get your cost per kilowatt hour down, the cheaper you can get your vehicle, and cheaper you can get your vehicle, the more adoption. And lastly is the investment per gigawatt hour reduction. Now this, they would see a 69% decrease. So all of the spending to grow this and to get there would actually be a lot more savings involved there. And so that's with everything that they're looking at. So there's a lot that can be gained here. Now, obviously, this is not a flick of the switch and it's on tomorrow. This is a 3-year plan. So what they talked about today is not going to be ready in a month or in a couple months. We're looking at 2 to 3 years down the line. But seeing this now shows you how far ahead and how Tesla's thinking as they move into the future. Obviously, this can result into some really big things. One of which they talked about, which is a cheaper vehicle, a $25,000 vehicle. This is insane. We talk about the Tesla stretch. A lot of us, can afford a vehicle worth X, but we push it a little bit more to afford a Tesla. Truth of the matter is, the Tesla is still an expensive vehicle. So if we can get down to $25,000, we are really hitting the price point that even more people can afford. So I'm really excited to see this now. We're looking at about 3 years out, and there was no talk about what the range of that vehicle could be, but adoption, it's all about adoption and getting everyone over that hump and into electric vehicles, because the biggest thing here, the one that they focus the most on, is sustainability. To get to a cleaner future, to get to a more sustainable future, we need to push the envelope. We need to push further adoption, and we need to push these technologies further so that we can drive costs lower, pass on the savings to customers, and so the adoption for electric vehicles can move forward. More people can get EVs, and we can help hopefully start curbing climate change and things of that sort. Now, lastly, Elon's talked about the Model S Plaid mode and how it's supposed to be out by the end of the year. They did announce that again today with more details, but it's looking like the end of next year is when we should start to see the Plaid mode, maybe mid-2021, but it's definitely 2021. And so that's a little disappointing that we're not seeing it today. And also, there was no talk about a refresh, an interior refresh. But if you watch the video that Tesla posted, you can see that there looks to be it's a newer steering wheel on the Plaid S. Now, who knows, maybe as we get closer to launch, it will see an interior refresh. I don't know, but that was kind of upsetting that we didn't see that. So we'll see what it has. Now, the Plaid Model S is about 140K when all is said and done, but it's posting, more range and faster than the Lucid Air, which just announced. So it'll be really cool to see these two cars come out around the same time frame and, really put them neck to neck and see, which one is really outbeating the other. Obviously, Tesla holds more weight as they've been around longer. They've got the charging infrastructure and so forth. So it'll just be really cool. And I think the future of electric vehicles is pushing forward, with the Lucids and other vehicles coming to market, while Tesla is still continuing to lead the pack with technology and innovations, getting down to the battery level, vertically integrating their entire stack, everything that's involved in building this vehicle. Tesla is owning. When you own that, you make a very successful, very well-made product, because you now own all the fine-tuning underneath that vehicle, and it just makes an amazing experience. I don't know. I'm super excited. I know it was a lot of tech. It was a lot of nerdy. My head kind of blew up a little bit at some points. I did get up in the middle and do a dance for everyone on the live stream. If you saw that, let me know down below. I'll put a clip to it right here. Decided to have some fun. In any case, I thought it was a great event. I thought it was creatively done. A lot of cool announcements. Very exciting to see where Tesla's going with their battery tech. And I'm excited to see what the next 2 to 3 years look like. And kind of excited to see that subcompact car too. But anyway, let me know what you think. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you like this video so more people can find it and learn about what happened at Battery Day. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys next time. I gotta get back to editing this video. See ya!